The THISDAY Music Festival was to be the most iconic musical festival meant to change the Nigerian entertainment landscape forever, featuring the world's biggest stars like Beyoncé, Jay-Z, Busta Rhymes, and many others. You've probably seen these videos of Beyoncé singing the Nigerian former national anthem multiple times.
Rise, oh compatriot.
And maybe pictures of Jay-Z turbaned and named after a road in Kwara State. Many people presume these media collections were another celebrity visit or part of Jay-Z's charity works, but they couldn't have been more wrong. This wasn't just a goodwill trip, it was a massively expensive production that took months of planning and millions of dollars to pull off. However, the part you might not know is that the money that made this unforgettable night possible didn't just come from a high-profile expensive ticket sales or sponsors. It came from a budget meant to lift people out of poverty.
Here is an American superstar taking money meant for poverty alleviation from people who have no drinking water, no school, no hospitals, no drugs.
And it took place 18 years ago to these days, October 7th and 8th, 2006. It's time to uncover the full story behind this forgotten iconic event. Alpha, mile a day for you. Subscribe. Our story starts with Nduka Obaigbena, whom you probably know as the founder of Leader and Company Limited, which gave birth to the popular THISDAY newspaper and Arise News TV. Or maybe you saw him regularly with pictures hobnobbing with top celebrities sometimes in the 2000s. But the real story here is that he had an idea. One he believed would put Nigeria on the map for their 46th independence, and it was mind-blowing. During this period, there was rarely an event that put Nigeria in the minds of the world. The only event that had a greater level of broadcasting was the AFCON hosting in 1980. Zero World Cup hosting, zero Olympic hosting to date. I wonder what actually made this country the giant of Africa.
We're huge representatives of Africa and what it brings to the world. We're the giants of Africa.
Shut up! You're the best.
The only strong memory I have of the THISDAY media outlet as a whole was their newspaper back page that contained sports updates. It was very popular for us back then in our secondary school days, where we weren't allowed to use phones. So we had to buy them to get updates on what was happening in sports that week. Today, Arise News TV has expanded to more than 54 African countries. It also has hubs in London and New York. Nduka's idea was to bring the world's top music icons to Nigeria and showcase the great news coming out of the country. He stated that the event would demonstrate Nigerians' advancement and positive developments, countering the often negative news associated with issues like HIV and AIDS, conflict and poverty. At least, that was how he presented it at first. With this idea in mind, he began making plans to bring it to reality. Nobody could actually predict how much he was worth. He was just seen as the chairman of the biggest news media outlet in Nigeria. He had been seen in pictures with popular public figures more than any other Nigerian at that time. Mind you, it was the early days of technology and internet. You rarely saw personalities like this on TV or on social media that probably didn't even exist then. His THISDAY media empire had survived series of ages in Nigeria, from the military regime to the democratic era, and it was already 20 years old in 2006. His country heading towards becoming a 50-year-old company. So seeing Nduka with people like this was becoming a regular thing. Nduka knew how wide it would be to bring this dream to reality for Nigerians to experience, and most of all, how much he would make selling it to them. By August 2006, promotion for the festival had already started taking place in different cities and media outlets around Nigeria and around the world. MTV, Channel O, CNN, World Wide Web. The festival was said to be the biggest world event of the year, and even bigger than the Live Aid concert that took place in London in 2005. The lineup for this event was crazy, stating that several top music icons had signed on or were signing on. They included Beyoncé, Jay-Z, Jimmy Cliff, Ciara, Janet Jackson, Diana Ross, Millie J. Blige, Snoop Dogg, and Nigeria's own artists like King Sunny Ade, Two-Face, P-Square, Lamwaja, Style Plus, Daria Atialade, Sheun Kuti, Femi Kuti, and others. People didn't believe this was possible at first. These were not small personalities. Most of the artists were in their primes during this period. Beyoncé had just dropped her second solo album, B-Day, and was making plans for her Beyoncé Experience tour for 2007. She and Jay-Z were always in the news for their dating relationship. Jay-Z had just returned from retirement with the album Kingdom Come, which debuted at #1 on Billboard 200. He had also just signed Rihanna and Nail to Def Jam Records, and Snoop had just dropped his 8th studio album, The Blue Carpet Treatment, among many others on the list. Lagos Polo Club, Ikoyi, Lagos State, Nigeria, was where the festival was going to take place. People were very excited about the whole thing. Nothing is more thrilling to Nigerians than seeing foreigners in their midst. Think of it like the Gods Must Be Crazy movie about the Coke bottle that landed from the airplane. It was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and nobody wanted to miss it. However, the excitement died off immediately after they saw the price tags of the ticket for the festival. It was super expensive. Regular tickets were sold for 25k naira, which was $180 at that time, and VIP tickets were sold 100k, which was $720. These prices are not funny in today's time. $180 today is around 288k naira, and $720 should be around 1.2 million naira. People were not having it. It wasn't as if they didn't know that tickets would be expensive, but 25k, 100k to see Beyoncé was ridiculous back then.
I wanted to go, but I just didn't go because I didn't have much cash in my account. I had something to do with that money. I would have loved to go. If it was cheap, I would have gone, but it was 25k for just another person. I didn't go.
Many began doubting if the event was even possible. Nobody knew where he was going to get the money to set up such a lineup of artists, all in the name of exposing Nigeria to the world.
You sit at the airport, the biggest plane in the world.
The suspicions were going around that some politicians were involved in funding the festival, as most of them were using it as a campaign forum for themselves. 1,000 tickets were later released for students at the reduced price of 10,000 naira. Many people were said to have created fake IDs to get cheaper tickets. No be small thing.
Because the student price was cheaper, so a lot of people, made fake student cards just so they could, present them and buy student tickets which were cheaper.
After Nigeria's Independence Day on October 1st, there was just 7 days until the 2-day music festival scheduled for October 7th and 8th, 2006. It was set on the weekend to allow the working class to attend. Nduka made sure he hired foreign show hosting professionals to bring this idea to life.
The stage was supposed to start being constructed on Sunday, and the stage is being constructed on Friday, and the show is Saturday.
Although they didn't have much time on their side due to logistic issues, but they still made it happen.
The pressure, I've been up for 5 days straight, because all I'm doing is damage control. You know what I mean? We have about 19 or 20 hours. Nothing is like this has been done on the continent. This is a super show in the States. This is a stadium show in the States. So here we are in a polo field,
Make some goddamn noise, Lagos!
They said the show had a massive turnout, with fan zones open in different parts of the state for live viewing at lower prices. The first night featured performances from Beyoncé, Jay-Z, Ciara, and En Vogue. The second night showcased Snoop Dogg, Missy Elliott, and Busta Rhymes.
Busta Rhymes has a new album in stores. The name of my new album is The Big Bang!
Nigerian artists also performed, like Dare Atialade, Weird MC, The Banj and Don Jazzy, who just dropped the Rundown Funk You Up album as Mohit, Seun Kuti, and Two-Face. Some of the most popular highlights from this festival include Beyoncé singing the national anthem. She said she was nervous at first, and after the performance, Nigerians were screaming Michael Jackson.
When I was performing and when everyone performed, as soon as we finished, the whole crowd was screaming, Michael, Michael. They wanted to see him. I was so excited to come to Africa and so excited that I wanted to do something really, really special. So I asked my driver, was there an anthem or something I could learn so everyone would know how much I, look forward to coming to Nigeria. And I wanted everyone to know how much I appreciated how beautiful everyone is and their amazing spirits, that I admire that. And during my sound check, someone sang the song to me and I said, I think I could learn that. So I wrote down the lyrics and wrote out the sheet music for my piano player to play, and we did it. And I was really nervous because I didn't want to mess it up.
Rise, oh compatriot.
Well, that was cool. She really brought the crowd, and it was really nice. Seeing her sing our national anthem I really got it.
And it was this show they said Jay-Z threw the Roc-A-Fella symbol, with everyone joining in, including the politician who didn't want to be left out, like Tinubu. Many government officials attended the show, some urging people to vote for them because they were among the people behind the event.
We didn't really need, all that, because that was not needed hype. It's a show about music, about fun, and we don't need people coming up telling us, vote for me. If they said, go out and vote, oh, that's cool. We, the youth, will be like, okay, that's fine, we'll vote. But don't tell me vote for you because you're behind the show. That didn't really ring well.
We will discuss later in this video how talk like this became a source for uncovering the truth behind the story. I believe it was after this festival that Bukola Saraki, the then governor of Kwara State, got the opportunity to invite Jay-Z and Beyoncé to Ilorin. That's why we have this picture of them in front of Coke and Sprite bottles. And I noticed it says why. Well, they weren't technically couples in 2006, but rumors had it that something was going on. They got married 2 years later in 2008. Jay-Z was also turbaned by the Emir of Ilorin, and they named the road after him, Sean Jay-Z Carter RD, which runs from the Kwara State Polytechnic School gate to the school roundabout. The festival sold out completely, including VIP tickets at 100k. Some people saw it as a misstep though, like why spend millions on global stars when Nigerians were suffering? But Nduka didn't stop there. He hosted the festival for 3 more years, from 2007 to 2009. It evolved into Africa Rising, featuring artists like John Legend, P. Diddy, Rihanna, Neyo, and even Jay-Z, who came back in 2008.
Oh, off the chain, man. We really enjoyed it. I'm just glad to be here in Africa. Came to do what it do, A very happy man that has made it here after 20 years of my career for the first time in Africa. I'm just ready to get to it.
Robert Kelly will be the star act for this year's THISDAY Music Festival.
Each year came with its own highlight, like Rowland Kelly fainting in 2007 due to dehydration.
A year ago or so, Nduka is here. They've had the THISDAY Music Festival, and Kelly Rowland was on the show, and she performed right after me. And I realized that when I was performing on stage, or when I finished, the story I had was that while I was on stage, the energy was too much, that the dancers came, watched, and then went back to tell her that, whoa, the guy that is on stage is a beast. You have to prepare. And so she extra prepared and got on THISDAY stage, and she fainted because she was trying to finish the show.
Wait, so basically you made Kelly Rowland faint on stage?
Am I lying, sir?
By the way, if you're attending this festival, please let me know in the comments, I beg. Like, what was life like? Were you in school? Were you working? Just let me know, you get? It was a very crazy series of events, and Nduka Obaigbena was the only one milking all the glory from it. He became known as the most powerful man in African media, known for hobnobbing with celebrities. The New York Times did a big feature on Nduka in 2008, calling him Pat Bono, Pat Diddy. People like the head of Transparency International praised him for his effort to clean up corruption. Naomi Campbell said he had real passion and a unique message. And the former Australian Prime Minister John Howard thought Obaigbena was on the right path. He chose not to disclose his net worth to the magazine, but said that THISDAY parent company, Leaders and Company, of which he owned 95%, had earned $100 million in revenue as of 2007. He also claimed to have earned $20 million from real estate and stock holding. Building an empire not just based on owning the #1 news media outlet, but also as the only Nigerian man who had all popular figures in his pocket made Nduka look unstoppable for a brief moment. But unfortunately for him, the real truth behind the funding of the THISDAY Music Festival came to light. In February 2013, stories emerged that Nduka wasn't the billionaire business mogul he claimed to be. According to reports by Sahara reporters, they uncovered a document indicating that $1 million of Bayelsa State poverty alleviation funds was spent by then Governor Goodluck Jonathan, giving it to Nduka to bring American entertainers Beyoncé and Jay-Z to Nigeria in 2006.
Sahara reporters, which is the sister news agency of Sahara TV, found and exposed how an American pop star, Beyoncé, was paid $1 million from poverty alleviation funds from the state of Bayelsa when now President Goodluck Jonathan was governor there in 2006. Here is an American superstar taking money meant for poverty alleviation from people who have no drinking water, no school, no hospitals, no drugs.
The document came to light after a controversy was ignited over how much money American reality TV star Kim Kardashian was paid for a brief visit to Nigeria. In 2013, Kim was widely publicized to co-host the Love Like a Movie live concert with popular Nigerian R&B singer Daria Tialade, for which ticket cost 100k naira or $640. However, Kim did not co-host the show and only showed up at the red carpet for 45 minutes, making a 45-second statement on the microphone saying, "Hey Niger," before leaving. She was reportedly paid $500,000 just to come on stage. Now wow. $640 just for tickets and $500,000 just to come on stage. Not to do. This angered many people, with the outrage focusing on why Nigerian airlines waste money inviting celebrities while millions of people are suffering. The exposed letter was dropped by Sahara reporters while people were still angry about the Kim case. The letter, sent on August 11, 2006, 2 months prior to the event, stated that Nduka's total budget for the THISDAY Music Festival was $10 million and the co-host was expected to contribute a minimum of $2.5 million. To put this in perspective, $10 million in 2006 was about 1.3 billion naira. As of today's price, $10 million is about 16 billion naira. Almost see money. The source of this letter remains unverified to this day. You might be wondering why Goodluck Jonathan, the former president of Nigeria, is mentioned in this paperwork. Well, the letter was sent to his desk while he was still the governor of Bayelsa State. If you look closely at the bottom of the letter, you will see where it was minuted by hand and signed by his aides, as well as the Bayelsa State Accountant General, approving the release of 150 million naira, only to be drawn from the poverty alleviation subhead. 150 million naira approximated $1 million back then. So essentially, Jonathan gave Nduka almost half of the $2.5 million he requested. One source told Sahara reporters that Mr. Obaigbena sent similar letters to other South states. Imagine using your last card in buying a ticket to go see Beyoncé, only to later find out that the show was being hosted with money meant to help poor people in your state. But wait too, so there's something like poverty alleviation funds for every state in Nigeria? No, can't tell me. Where then share them now?
The kind of alliance too between our movie stars, our musicians who go to Africa, even sometimes so-called human rights activists who go, from the Americas, the US, and go collaborate, take money meant for the poor, and help launder those money or mismanage or misappropriate them through some kind of phony entertainment business or lobbying, as the case may be.
So considering that it was mostly politicians and governors who bought the VIP ticket, if what is said in this letter is true and Nduka got the same response from other states, it means the government squandered Nigerian money just to entertain themselves with popular superstars. As for the superstars that perform in the festival, I don't see why we should blame them for stopping by for a quick cash grab. So you guys were expecting Beyoncé to leave USA and come to Nigeria and sing the national anthem for free.
You cannot call Beyoncé a phony entertainment business. Beyoncé is someone who's looked up to by young people, and Beyoncé is a talented performer who has something to contribute. What we have to do is Sahara TV must go and make an appointment with Beyoncé and with Jay-Z. Jay-Z is an entrepreneur in New York City, and you need to sit down with Beyoncé and Jay-Z and to sit with them to say that Sahara TV wants to explain what you get into if you align with certain governments.
I also came across this Sahara Reporters article, which had a lot to say about Nduka's inhuman behavior and lack of payment to his staff workers. It says here that he allegedly paid Snoop Dogg $1 million to appear in THISDAY Music Festival. They said the Nigerian Breweries earlier contacted Snoop's agent to headline his music festival that summer, but Nduka offered Snoop more money and thought Snoop turned his back on NBL. Oh, more. The man was like, come and take this Ciara State Poverty Alleviation Fund, Snoop. Let the children starve. The truth is, nobody among the people mentioned in this allegation has made any statement concerning this issue. Not Beyoncé or former President Goodluck Jonathan, and definitely not Nduka. Many people were expecting Beyoncé to make a statement about this issue.
Well, the issue here, Professor, is that Beyoncé has been aware of this now for a while. No public statements. When she was confronted with a similar accusation in Libya, she returned the money to a charity. And we had thought that having been aware of this, there could have been some kind of reaction from Beyoncé, because there's documentation showing that this man signed poverty alleviation funds for this concert. And that is funny. And now that they are aware, which we are sure they are aware, they ought to make a statement.
See, let me break this down from my personal point of view. This whole thing started just because of my curiosity about these pictures of Beyoncé I've seen online with Jay-Z. And I started researching what was behind their visit. I never knew my research would lead me to discover something as deep as this. And to be honest, I was heavily disappointed by what I found out. You see things like this and begin to wonder why people still believe Nigeria would ever get better. Every day, people go scot-free from doing things you never expected to happen at all. According to the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, 47% of Bayelsans live in poverty. The World Bank says that the capital gross domestic product in the Niger Delta is significantly below the country's average. According to the state's own 2005 development strategy, 80% of rural communities have no access to safe drinking water, a key indicator in judging poverty. In Yenagoa, the state capital, Bayelsa's largest urban area, an estimated 2 out of every 5 residents do not have access to safe drinking water. According to recent updates, this percentage are way above average. As of 2022, Bayelsa was ranked as the second poorest state in the country behind Sokoto. Nigeria really made a mockery of itself, and now this story is just another forgotten chapter in our country's wide history. How far? Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.